here is the Orisa Hog, and you're wanting to play with Mercy Widow. Is that what you were saying? Rather than Lucio.
Yeah, Mercy rather than Lucio. At least for us it worked better, but if you can work with Lucio, we can still go with Lucio. Because Hog requires less healing.
Yeah, well that's kind of the idea of the comp. But it really depends on what heroes you guys are comfortable on.
Okay.
Because
let's go for ideal. If something is off, I'm gonna tell you.
Okay. So in this situation, what the plan is to take control of this area down here. You want to be situated around here with the comp as soon as possible. That's what this comp is best for controlling.
Okay.
Your Pharah can hug the side of the point here if they've got an enemy Widow, and you can actually just fire rockets over still and get a full damage out. You can control this bridge really well and rotate round to White Room round here if need be. Depending on what the enemy comp is running, if it's a Widow, for example, well, basically if the enemy comp's running a Widow, your Pharah will be playing extremely safe, and should always be on the other side of the point over there. But if there's a Widow, you can start claiming the space around here and really pressure in, if it isn't a Widow, sorry, and really pressure into the White Room if they come around here. So the idea of the comp is to keep them inside White Room or at this bridge waiting area over here.
Okay.
You don't really want to let them in at all. So what you end up doing is, sorry.
The front line, where does it sit? It sits at the left of the dojo. Okay. So we're saying Orisa Hog, Lucio, Pharah, then Dilbrig and then, or what are the other two? We cannot hear you.
Sorry, I forgot I had pushed the talk on. So the Brigitte will be over here with the rest of the tanks. But meanwhile, the Zen on the first fight will be the one that's good. Well, firstly, he'll stay back here, and then move to cap the point solo.
Okay.
So he'll be the only one who needs to cap that point. When it comes to contesting the point, if they get, say, a Tracer, or, well, anything, it'll be your Brigitte's job to just contest the point. Meanwhile, the rest of the team stays either here with facing the rest of the enemy team, or over at this choke over here.
Okay, so we take control of the bridge, our side or their side?
Their side. You would. So
okay.
You'd be on the other side of the map. That should spawn over there.
And we need the Lucio to speed and to close the gap for taking their side, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So
first fight, but we try to get the bridge on the first fight, or just on. We try to force.
You need it on
slowly.
the first fight.
Okay.
So if they've got a Lucio as well, you need to be going hard onto them, because you want the furthest back you really want an Orisa shield on the first fight is about here, essentially. That should like show how much you need to push up before taking control of the rest of the bridge.
Can you move what's up to spectate? Meanwhile, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, so if they decide to go the opposite way and take White Room instead, your tank should be rotating again. It's a pretty easy hold on this one. You literally stay just literally on the point here with your Orisa and your Hog. Hog can move out a bit and try and get some hooks across the river, and your Pharah meanwhile will be up on top here. And you can also move down. You see, there's little gaps here that you can fit rockets through.
Yeah. Okay.
So you try and stay safe with your Pharah there, and it's as easy as that. The rest of the team will stay with your tanks.
With the tanks.
Zen can orb the Pharah through the window and armor as well from the Brigitte. So whilst you're out here on your own, you can also still move in anyway. So it's all about staying safe whilst holding this whole holding this door basically.
Okay, so few questions. Maybe you wanted to explain later, but how do we retake?
That's the thing about this comp. It's not one that you're looking to retake on. I would, in all honesty, I would look to switch to either something that completely counters them, depending on what they're running,
Okay.
or dive with a widow, and instead of the Farah.
Okay.
And if you want to run pseudo dive with, say, a Brigitte instead, you can run a Tracer Brigitte or a Widow Brigitte, whichever one you may feel more comfortable on. If they're probably the
Tracer Brigitte, because Alice is our Tracer main, and
okay, yeah. So that you don't really want to be staying on that comp. It's too immobile to stay on it when you do lose the point. The idea of that comp is to either full hold the 100 to 0, or get to 99%, then swap.
okay.
And, I got a quick question. And basically, how do we manage the ultimates? How can we rotate them and extract the most of value out of them? I was wondering.
So what you'll probably end up with is you should end up with Lucio and Zen Ultimate around the same time. So both of those will end up being both of those will end up being around the same time. So it all comes down to what teams the comps of the enemy are running. So if they're running something that's got a huge combo, such as a Zarya with a Farah or a Hanzo, you want to be looking to save your transfer that. If they're coming in on a dive team comp, you want to be looking to beat when they've got a big engage coming up, when you know they've got a few ults to use. You want to just give yourselves that extra bit of health to sustain through the fight, get a couple picks, and win the fight that way.
If they do run dive, the Zen needs to not be further back, or where does it need to be positioned with the...
So when on the point, the Zen will be positioned with the team anyway, so the Brigitte can stay with him here. But when it comes to playing against dive outside here, he should still be positioned around this post here after the first fight. In which case the Brigitte just stands in the middle instead of with the tanks. So the peel for the Zen is the Brigitte.
And the Brigitte only?
Only with the Brigitte? The Hog doesn't need to turn?
So when it comes to at the level that we normally do this at, it's okay just to have the Brigitte to do that. If they're doing a full dive with all the with Tracer, Lucio, Zen, Lucio, Diva, and Winston, that's all you are all going to have to turn, because they're all going to be diving round anyway. So it's dependent on how many heroes are diving over there, and as to whether Zen and Brigitte can hold those off. It really depends. If there's a Diva jumping over there, no matter what, Hog does need to turn around.
Okay.
Because Hog's main target is that Diva and Winston.
Okay. So talk about a bit of focus. If they do run the shield comp with Rain Zarya, we just break the shield and spam and try to keep the distance, basically.
Yeah, exactly. If they try and come across this bridge with that comp, you've got firstly a Farah, you've got an Orisa and a Hog that can all get those environmental
kill.
The
yeah. Also the Lucio.
Not to mention Lucio, yeah.
Yeah. Those low comp in bridge kind of fuck it up. If they go from white, we just try to get the distance through the corridor. Is that the English word? Yeah. Okay. And use the result to delay them further, right?
Yeah. So you can delay them or go through the environmental, depending on where they are.
Okay. If they do run dive though, what do we focus on? Let's say they do a 2-man dive or 3-man dive with the Monkey and Tracer, but the Diva stays back with the healers.
So what would then happen is you'd end up with your Orisa still say it's over here, you'd end up with Orisa staying shooting at the rest of the team.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Hog, Brigitte, and Lucio will all help the Zen out in the middle.
Okay.
So the idea being that the Orisa keeps pressure on the healers and the Diva to make sure that they can't just walk in, essentially.
Okay, so the reason the Pharah hold the front line while the others just try to peel the Zen?
Yeah.
More or less.
The fact that Pharah is a weird one due to the fact that she kind of does both, because you could with your positioning you'll be able to help out on both sides.
Yeah.
So you always stay positioned around this point here.
Okay.
To avoid the sidelines.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say if we are not comfortable on this comp, what should we run on this map? Because I know that Overwatch League meta is not actually the meta that we should play, but it's pretty common the Pharah Widow on this map, the dive with Pharah Widow.
Yeah, so I would still keep the Widow, and the Pharah Widow. It is a similar comp, it is the same comp basically, but when you lose that first fight, change off the Pharah straight away to Tracer or Genji.
Okay.
Just because it's really hard to retake this Gardens as Pharah, essentially.
Okay, we actually don't have a Genji player at the moment.
Well, that's fine. If the other player can play Tracer whilst you've got your Widow still,
yeah,
that also works.
So we go dive with Tracer Widow?
Yeah.
Okay. And positioning wise, when we should retake, because when we saw this map, we joined. Basically, the first attack was go from bridge, the monkey jumps, take the dildo as a cover.
Yeah, the pillar.
The pillar
in between.
Actually, I know that it's also used dildo as a call, but not very common.
Okay.
Because it's a bit rude, but anyway, the tank take the pillar here in the middle. The backline stays a bit further back, and the first fight we just try to exploit them using cooldowns that they should not use.
Yeah, so that's a really good way to do it. But one thing to know is that when you've got a Pharah, you get vision of the enemy quite quick.
Okay.
So if they're running a slow comp, you can actually take a further forward.
Yeah. We usually do that with the Tracer scouting. If we know that they are not on bridge yet, the monkey tries to take space.
Yeah.
And go further. And Lucio follows the monkey with the Diva, and they say at this little wall at the right side of the bridge. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, so that's perfect. So if they're also running dive, you're right to take this area around here. The Diva should be staying back with the support. Zen, I would if you got the Lucio with you, Zen is a really good position to take round here instead.
In dojo? Where? Just shoot at it so we can see.
Yeah, just here.
Okay.
Because your flanks will be clear. You'll be able to see your flanks over here, and you've not got as far pressure from the bridge either.
Okay. So basically, this map we will try to run the Orisa Hog, Brigitte, Pharah, Zen Lucio. To retake, we go with dive with Widow.
Yeah.
We are not comfortable playing Orisa Hog because I'm sure that both hasn't practiced a lot of Orisa. I haven't practiced a lot of Hog lately, so we really need practice on that. And
I can go Hog if you want, and then you switch to Zen. We can swap.
Yeah,
Never
maybe.
mind. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
And also we actually don't have a projectile player. The only one that is playing projectile is Helios with Hanzo, but yeah, there is still room to improve. So if that's needed, we might want to put time and effort on that.
Yeah, I'd definitely look at a projectile player because with the way the meta is developing, Genji is starting to become a bit more a bit more played again, and there's more
Okay.
places to play around that Brigitte. So I definitely look for or practice on that. On getting a projectile player, Farah, Genji, as the main focuses.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we will see, Antonio. I
Okay.
don't know. Maybe you should have to practice. I have no idea. Because until now the story is kinda messed up because Tushai, Nico, joined actually to play the projector role.
slot, yeah, I was supposed to
But
be a projector player, but
The meta changed, shifted a lot. I moved to the off tank instead of healers, and he had to take my role.
Yeah.
So that's
I end up sticking with the Zen, in a way or the other. But yeah, we're kinda struggling with assessing which player should play
what.
which role. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
This is our topic.
Because until now the off tank was Shiva, but she played basically only Diva as an off tank,
Yeah,
and that's
Sort
why I
of
moved to
three.
the off tank role.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the story summed up. So I don't know if some of us should really try to learn the projector role, or if I don't know, maybe it's better to find again someone that can do that, or
It's up to you how you want to go about that. If you got someone who's been confident on Farah in the past, and could learn Genji, for example, Farah's the biggest one at the moment, but Genji seems to be coming back. So just as a warning, essentially, on what
Okay.
to look for.
okay.
The reason that I've just started the game mode is because I can't change the map to the next one without completing this one.
You need to go to settings, control, and second map. In setting modes, control.
It's not on there. Oh, hold on, no, I've got it. There we go. Good call, good call.
Yeah, I've struggled with that a lot. Then I find out how.
In arrivo a Torre di Lijang.
Is the
So
same one?
that was the second map, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Sorry, is there any other questions you had on Garden? I was going to say, actually.
No, that's actually pretty clear.
Yeah.
Kinda an easy concept of the comp. Just stay there and try to spam your way out.
Yeah, basically, it's a really good it's a really easy comp to pull off. There's not much coordination really needed. You just have to stick together, essentially.
And is there a particular use for the bongo, the Oriza ultimates?
Mainly, it's just used to help with the spam. In essence, there's not really a case where I would say, okay, this is what you need to save it for.
Okay.
If it looks like it looks like you're gonna need that little bit extra damage, just use it.
Oh, nice. So we need to punch through if we have to.
Yeah, actually, ults recap. The two healers ult, we kinda know that. The Brigitte ult, we already saw that in the Anamura VOD.
Yep.
But the same apply to that.
It still applies. Yeah.
Okay, so off fights we try to go a bit more aggressive on that. And the Riza is just help the spam, maybe help others to get their ult faster, something like that.
Exactly.
And wall hog, how do we use that?
Hog's used as a general disruption tactic. So when they dive on, if they're running dive, for example, you can use it to split off, say, the Winston. The one good thing that I really like using the Hoggle for is when the Winston dives on you, you can shoot. You shoot, hook, shoot, and he's going to be on about 100 HP.
And then wall hog to
less. a whole hog just to like finish him off really quick, and then disrupt the enemy team and make sure Mercy doesn't get the res off.
Okay.
The basic idea being that even if the Winston's got ult, it's a lot of damage coming in quick, and he's either going to have to pop that super early, and then gets pushed away anyway, so can't really get much use out of his ult, or he dies either way.
Okay.
So that's the main one, or just pressure on a Rhine shield, push them off the side of a bridge.
Yeah,
on that side.
The other two situations that I was thinking about was either if they have a slow comp on bridge or on white, where when they are approaching point, just to push them inside white, and they have no room to escape damage.
Yeah, basically, if you're going to use a hog ult like that, it's something that you can actually combo with an Orisa ult. And just push forward with your Lucio, get a forward barrier, and just push them back into white room. And with the damage, it's going to break that shield super quick. You've got your spam from your Pharah. That you're going to be able to at least kill a couple squishies.
And any advice on the Pharah ult?
Pharah
kill more than one. Another about positioning. Maybe I know what the little bridge from white to point.
Yeah, that
is kind of in core. Yeah, that's the only one that I know.
Torre di Lijang.
So when they're on bridge, you want to be looking to get. So again, this depends on whether they're running slow or dive comp. If they're running dive comp, you want to just get the. Whoever's still left over here, so Zen, Widow, whatever that is, you want to try and flank them around this way.
Okay.
And just try and get the 1 or 2 picks with a Pharah barrage. As long as you can camp their dead body, as in just make sure that the Mercy doesn't get a res off on it. It doesn't matter. So if they're not running a Widow and you get their Zen, just make sure you've got your concussive blast to just knock the Mercy away from the res.
Yep.
So that's what I would use it for on that, and then slow comps. It's more when they're going to push up onto this bridge. If they manage to push you all the way back to point, you can try and take a window spot to barrage through.
Okay.
Or just behind them on these sort of angles. You want a lower angle where you can get all the full damage out straight away.
Okay.
So that's how I would take these angles with Pharah. With white room, you're obviously going to look at this sort of angle round here. With which you already are.
Pretty common.
Yeah. There's not really any other angle unless they're on the point, which again you would just take either the window or behind them at the side, depending on how far in they've got. They're your basic angles on Pharah. I'd recommend.
Okay. Perfect.
Was there any other questions for this map before we go on?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, it's okay.
Maybe I'll have some later on, but
Yeah, no worries.
Però è in chat?
Sì, perché?
Hai qualche domanda?
stai seguendo domande?
Questa mappa?
Ragazzi, non ho capito niente.
In generale, magari qualcosa che...
Ok,
No, vabbè, in base...
quick recap in Italian. Sta dicendo che su stampa ci conviene giocare Orisa Hog e fare esattamente come con la dive, cioè prendere più spazio possibile, andare iper aggressivi fino al bridge.
Quindi
bridge
andiamo
opposto.
di Lucio?
Con Lucio, sì.
Ok, passiamo di bridge quindi.
Sì, passiamo di bridge, prendiamo lo spazio fino al bridge. Dopodiché con la Pharah.
Quindi
con
gli
la
amp me li tengo sempre per ingaggiare?
No, a quel punto, cioè serve solo per arrivare al punto. A quel punto dovremmo prendere una posizione statica in cui spammiamo come disperati.
Ok.
E da lì lo scopo di questa comp è o fare 100-0, fare 99 e poi cambiare per fare il retake. Perché non è una comp con cui puoi fare retake. Praticamente hai Orisa, Hog, Zen, Lucio, Brigitte e Pharah che spammano. La Brigitte deve contestare il punto e pillarlo Zen. Il Lucio anche, come con la dive, deve pillarlo Zen se gli vanno addosso. È molto simile al concetto di dive tranne per la frontline. Ok?
Ok.
Poi invece
quindi
per
si
il retake si gioca dive.
Ok. Quindi si cerca di andare sul loro bridge a quel punto.
Sì, sul loro bridge.
È per quello che serve Lucy.
Ok.
Cerchi di andare oltre il pillar centrale sul loro bridge e cercare di prendere più spazio possibile.
A
E
quel-
vincere subito il fight così.
Ok, quindi poi a quel punto mi porto dietro sul Lucio.
Esattamente, poi resti solito come con la dive anche dietro lo shield, di fianco al muro, provi i boop, si provano l'environmental, cose del genere, no?
Se passano da
Passano
centrale...
da white, si va verso white e si tiene la porta del white. Come
Ok.
con la dive, ruotavamo, invece che stare là si andava dall'altra
Va
parte.
bene, va bene.
Ok?
Sì,
È un concetto molto simile a quello che abbiamo già visto. Come posizioni, come cose. Cambia solo lo stile di ingaggio dei tank. Molto più spammoso.
Ok.
Okay, hey, actually I do have
Potrebbe
question.
essere il famoso problema del fatto che noi non avevamo danno.
Boh, vedremo. Da provarla. Dobbiamo provare, farci pratica e imparare. I do have a question actually. The Brigitte.
Yep.
Brigitte is kinda in front line with Horizon Hog, right?
Yes,
Midway through Hog and Zen, Horizon Zen.
Yeah, basically.
How is that effective on the damage? What is
So
their role on
it's
damage?
it's not actually for the damage. That's more in case. That's more for a dive. If they're running a slow comp, as I said earlier, you can stay a bit further forward.
Okay.
And you can shield bash, knock someone off the bridge. That was just for the discussion during dive.
Okay. So basically, it's always just try to get the environmental and push them back.
Yeah, so you're not looking to be too aggressive. You're just looking to keep it. You could probably stay around this angle here, because when you swing in with Brigitte, it doesn't matter about this terrain here. So you can literally just swing right here, shield bash, and knock off whichever way you want.
Okay. So I think it's all. We can move to the next.
Is a full CC composition basically.
Yeah, essentially the idea of this comp is just to make them regret taking the bridge.
Ok.
Ma si va di full dive o counter dive? Cioè nel senso andiamo
counter.
Si va, no, di full tracer widow quando si fa il retake. Questo è quello che ci ha consigliato.
Ah sì, su retake sì.
Retake full tracer widow.
Widow?
Sì.
Va bene.
Ha detto di swappare la Fara, che tanto è difficile fare il retake con la Fara. E andare con la Widow piuttosto che la Tracer.
Va bene.
Ok, we can move to the next map.
Ok.
Io ovviamente questa parte non l'ho registrata, quindi spero che l'abbia registrata te, perché mi ero fermato prima.
Sto registrando tutto io.
Okay.
Fantastico.
In arrivo a Torre di Lijang.
Okay, so here we are.
Starting from comp. What comp should we run here? We cannot hear you again.
Oh,
Sure.
sorry. You can either run full dive with a Tracer Widow,
Okay.
or you'd be looking to run a triple tank comp. I
Triple
would
tank with Farah. Just go through every pick, so we
Okay,
are
yeah,
sure about
so-
what to play.
So you would play so for the dive comp, it's Winston Diva, Farah, or Widow, depending on which one you prefer. I'm assuming
Okay.
Widow for this now.
Yeah.
With the Tracer, Mercy, and Zen.
Okay.
If you want, you can also alter that to be without the Farah and just run a Brigitte. Depending on what, sorry, without the Widow or Tracer, and swap it out for Brigitte, depending on what you're comfortable with.
Okay.
Or the other option is to then run a triple tank comp with Zen, Mercy, Brigitte, Ryan, Zarya, and Hanzo or Farah.
Okay. So either
So-
Hanzo or Farah is still fine.
Yeah, either of the two. It's based more off comfort. I would recommend a Hanzo just due to the fact that you've got a lot more on the ground pressure.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's easier if they've got a widow, for example.
Okay.
So with the dive comp, you want to be taking the space, so you just rush out here and just dive straight over onto this side. You can take the angle behind the statue here as cover.
Okay. With Monkey or Diva? Winston?
Yeah, with the Winston. The Diva should also be following up as well, so you'd have both tanks around here.
We usually stayed in garden, like at the second door of garden.
In here.
With the other, yeah. The enemy door on garden and the back line on the Lions, or kind of right side on close to the mega pack.
Okay, so what you'd leave the Diva in here and Winston, both
Yep.
of them. Okay, so the reason why I recommend having your Winston pushed up this far forward is it stops them from pressuring just straight into here.
Okay.
So if they then decide to go through here, you've got your DPS still in the back line over here, and they can pressure from there whilst your Winston Diva dives from the back. They can't push their support through whilst your Winston and Diva are here.
Okay.
There's no way for them to do that, which is why I like that
So
strategy.
We are basically forcing a fight at the Lion.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
they cannot go in unless they want to lose support.
Yeah, basically.
If they go straight to point from their left side.
Yeah,
From the catwalk.
from this way.
Yeah.
So in that sort of situation, you'd be looking to retake the point from. Well, basically, you first have to spot out where their supports are staying, and you can either rotate right round to the back over here, coming right round, or you can come from your side, whichever one you want. I wouldn't recommend coming directly from the garden when you're running a dive comp v something that's trying to take the point. I'd recommend coming from one of the sides and just trying to catch out one of the supports.
Okay.
In the situation where they're going to rotate, so say you're running the triple tank say they're running the triple tank into your dive on this. You really need to find those support picks. You'll have a lot of pressure on your Tracer and your Widow in that situation, because without those picks, it's going to be really hard for you to dive onto them. And I would recommend taking the triple tank comp into them instead.
Okay, so we can start to run dive. If they run dive, we are fine. If they run triple tank, we should actually swap.
The triple tank part depends on if they've already got the point. If they decide to come triple tank and go this way, and you take a direct fight and win that fight, you're in a much better advantage with the dive comp. Because if they continue on the triple tank and they try and move around to point, you can dive on their back line when you've already got the point.
Okay.
So
cool.
it's all about either who gets the point first or who wins the first fight as the dive comp.
So basically, the first fight is really clutch. If we win the first fight, we are fine with dive. If we don't, we should just swap and go to the triple tank.
Dive's a lot better once you have that point and you control these angles, basically.
Okay.
So, but if the other option is obviously for you to run the triple tank first, and I'd recommend just going straight to point, fight from there.
Okay, so if we run triple tank, we go straight from garden to point. And
don't go through garden. Go around the side. Around
okay.
Here.
Okay.
Because again, there's a lot of pressure they can give on you here if they run dive. If they're running triple tank as well, you don't really want to be fighting in here. You want to be fighting on the point.
Okay.
So that's you really want to come around this side way instead, and just take that point.
Okay, fine. And speaking about positioning after, we do have the point. We dive and we triple tank comp.
Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to dive on this point, your Winston and Diva should be. So Diva will stay with your Zen because you don't have you got your you'd be running Widow Tracer, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That's what you were saying. Yeah. So your Widow and your Diva will be situated with your Zen, just your Zen in these corners here on these angles, basically. Your Widow can be looking down these angles here.
Okay.
Meanwhile, your Diva Zen is just inside here.
Okay.
It means that your Diva can basically just keep both of those protected from, let's say, a flanker or a dive. Meanwhile, your Winston, again, will be sat here.
Not high ground, not...
The one place I used to like is on here, but they've removed it now. Which is
Yeah.
annoying, because you could just sit up here and zap them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
so
you can still stay in high ground a little bit, yeah, right there.
Yeah, you could do. I personally don't like this because there's a lot of angles to watch as a Winston. So first of all, you're actually waiting for these lot to come through here, but you've also got the other angles which are going to be pressured, which could possibly be pressured. So it makes it very hard for you to. It makes it very difficult to keep focus on the main part of the team.
Okay.
Which is why I like staying here, because you've got the cover from the main door, but you can also see all of it in one, like that.
Okay.
Like you can monitor it all without having to constantly essentially disorientate yourself.
Yeah. Okay. And Tracer, where should the Tracer be?
Tracer, there's two options. You can either be just round the corner, around there, ready to dive ready to just get onto their back line, depending on which way they go. Or the one that I like doing is sitting on this corner around here. You can sit in this corner here and just peek and see when you can go in.
Okay.
This one is my preferred one, because when it comes down to actually diving in, when your Winston and Diva call for it, because the Diva will still dive fully. If you're initiating the dive, your Diva has to go with the Winston still. That doesn't change.
Okay.
And what happens then is that you end up with your Tracer flanking from this point here. Once they get out to about like just at the door, your Diva and Winston will dive from the front, and meanwhile your Tracer can come from the back and either go out round this way to where the supports are, or just inside here.
Okay.
And she's already set up for that.
A deadly sandwich.
Big questions are about what if they do have a Pharah? We die, the Widow should take care of it, of course. But if we run triple tank,
if they run Pharah into your triple tank, well, you'll be keeping this point over here. Basically, you don't want to give that Pharah as the angles that she wants. So you want to be kind of inside the point. You want to be pressuring these windows with the Hanzo at some points.
Okay.
But when it comes to main fights, you want to just be kind of trying to ignore her. She's the basic idea when you're playing into a Pharah and don't have a comp to deal with her is to win that ground war. You ignore her, win the ground war first, and then you can.
They go more aggressive, like
Diva jumping up there, depending on if you've got a Diva or just. I would highly recommend just ignoring the Pharah, because if they're running pharmacy, especially, they've got two people that are kind of out the fight. If that makes sense, win against.
They actually joined us to tell us that a lot. If they do have a Pharah Mercy, just go aggressive on the ground fight, because you are 6v4, win the ground fight, and then the Pharah is useless.
Yeah. The issue is that it's really difficult, because basically the Pharah can two-tap any squishy, and I'm talking about myself mainly. As a Zenyatta, I really struggle to play against the Pharah Mercy, even though we know that in theory we should ignore them and push the ground, but probably it's due to my bad positioning. I end up exploding each single fight against the Pharah Mercy, and yeah.
So on this point especially, it's actually really good, because the pharmacy, whilst she has a lot of cover for herself, she doesn't give herself many angles. So what you can do is always play around those angles. If they're at the front, you can sit at the back here and just peek.
Okay.
All you've got to be careful of is those
the
glass.
Yeah.
But other than that, you should be fine. If they try and flank, you should be able to spot it out or hear it. And after that first rocket, you'll rotate where you're positioning. So again, this would depend on what their ground comp is. If they're running a triple tank, for example, they're still probably going to come from either main or from here. In which case, you want to kind of be positioned at the back over here. But with the Farah, it is really difficult to position as a Zen. I'm not going to lie on this comp. But that's where your Diva's defense matrix really does have to help. When I say ignore her, it just means don't kill her.
Okay.
So if she's pressuring your Zen quite a lot, you'd have your Diva there with the defense matrix still.
I'm sorry, but the Diva in the triple tank or just in the dive?
That was just in the dive again. I thought we were just talking generally about it, but
in triple tank, the same. We just
you've got Zarya, you've got or a Hog, whichever one you want, because the Hog can actually pressure back if that Farah comes close. I don't know how good. Oh, you said you're not really used to Hog, are you? So
I can still practice. It's not a problem. I used to play it, but in season 3, you know when.
Okay. Don't check my stats. Filthy Hog main.
Yeah, pretty nerf. And I think that the real problem against the Farah Mercy is that it's like fighting against a clockwork bomb.
Yeah.
Basically, because we know that in 20 seconds they will have a barrage, and that's it, and that's the end of the fight.
Anything like any, I don't know, ghost style triple tank, triple support comp with Zarya Diva might be a solution to the Farah. Just run Diva instead of Zarya. Any kind of counter picks like that.
You can actually run the. If that Farah is becoming a problem and you still want to run the triple tank, change out the Brigitte for a Diva.
Okay.
You won't get the extra healing, but you will have your. You'll still have. So you'll have so it'll be Zarya, Reinhardt, Diva, Zen, Mercy, and Farrell or Hanzo.
Yeah.
Which one you wanted?
Yeah, because I assume that the issue is that playing aggressively is not our play style. So we have to force ourselves to push more than the normal, the ground to win again.
So you really have to be aggressive on that ground, on that ground 4 or 5 person group.
Yeah, I mean we know that, but since it's not play style, as I said before, is quite difficult because we tend to poke for a long time. We stretch the poke phase quite a lot, maybe too much, and we used to wait for something to happen, and that's the point in which the enemy Farah got the barrage. And
yeah, that you really can't be doing that against the Farah comp. That's if that's how it's going down, you're probably best changing off onto your own Farah Mercy. Well, you'll already have the Mercy, but change it off onto your own Farah and just try and pressure her that way.
So basically, try to do the Farah duel, Farah against Farah, and then the ground fight is 4v4.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, because you're not gonna want to if you're having issues dealing with Farahs, either go to the Widow or the Farah v Farah fight. You just need to put a bit of pressure on her, but that's not the ideal comp, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be what I'd recommend.
And talking about retakes with the triple tank.
Yep.
Actually, talking about retakes in general, first with dive and then with triple tank.
Yeah, so retakes with dive are pretty simple, to be honest. You want to be having your tracer flanking against. This could be again, as I said earlier, you don't really want to be retaking into a triple tank comp
with dive.
But if you're taking into a dive comp and they're positioning where we've already talked about, you want to be sending your tracer around the side, and what you want to be doing is setting up your Widow with long sight lines down here.
Okay.
Because if what happens is when this Tracer eventually does engage with the Winston, or it depends if... So basically your Winston and Diva will have to dive their Winston, pressure him back, and then you have this space then all over, because their Diva and supports should have been moved back onto point by this point. So that means that you've taken that extra space. So basically it becomes like a 3-step guide to taking the point. So yeah, so the main point is you want to take this area around here first with your dive comp. Tracer can then start flanking right round here without having too many contests, and start pressuring their Zenyatta and Mercy in this back area. At the point where the Tracer is around like here, she can then call for the rest of the team to dive in. So you want to be coordinating that dive between your Tracer, Winston and Diva.
Since we used to play a counter dive, actually, we are not really used to straight up dive. It's been an issue since Woods is not very communicative in when he wants to jump or where he wants to go. I was thinking about some exercise to do. Actually, I saw that in Jane's pod, I believe. Not sure about that. So you basically do 3v3 with Winston, Tracer, or Genji on one side, and the other side Lucio's and Diva. And basically you force the coordination into the dive and the peel.
Yeah, it's really good. That I didn't actually. I watch Jane sometimes, but I didn't see that. That's actually a really good coaching strategy. I've not seen it in practice, obviously, but it sounds like it would be a really good thing to practice, though. So yeah,
to basically force Wotsa to call the jumps and to coordinate on the dive.
Yeah.
And on the other side to force the reaction time from the Lucio once the dive happens, and from the Diva to just go straight back and peel.
Yeah.
What if they keep the choke up close?
With a triple tank comp.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you'd be running triple tank into triple tank at that point, and what it comes down to is that you have this cover around here. So Ryan can save his shield a little bit. You don't want to be positioning through this corridor down here. Instead, take the left corridors over here.
Okay.
Because if they've got a Widow or anything that can spam down here, you're just going to take too much damage.
Yep.
So your Ryan can save his shield and just swing round this corner, peeking in and out. And the idea is you pressure down their Ryan's shield, you look to get a shatter, Zarya can bubble the Rhine. It basically becomes a grind, essentially.
Okay, so try to build up some ultimate and then work our way through that.
Yeah, if the Rhine's swinging like I was saying and calls that the other Rhine's low, you can start pressuring out like further and try and just kill that Rhine straight out. So it all comes down to how the enemy team is going to respond to what you're doing. Just because you need to pressure out one person. If you're running the Widow, you can start setting up here and try and get a crossfire.
Okay.
Because
also the Hanzo can set up there, or
yeah, Hanzo can set up here. However, you won't have as much shield pressure if he does that.
Okay.
It's just that's just the way it is, unfortunately. If the Hanzo knows that he can hit the shots straight out, I'd recommend trying coming up here and getting a pick first, maybe, and then go back. If you do get a pick, the rest of the team can start coming out. They're going to try and res it, so you make use of that and kill one of the tanks.
Okay, so as usual, if we get one peak, we
just
aggressively.
push further.
Okay.
The main thing being that I wanted to point out today was that if they're resing, they don't, especially if they're resing their other healer, they have minimal to no healing. So that's the point where you want to be killing their, like, pressuring their tanks down. So especially a Reinhardt who's very dependent on that healing coming in.
Okay.
So that's how you would want to retake that.
There was a little bit of discussion about this topic actually, so I just exploited to ask you directly about the Mercy Resurrection. And is there a easy way to tell when a resurrection is more valuable with respect to the actual healing in a split second, I guess? For example, there is a fight and they got one pick on us. So, of course, the Mercy will try to rest the dead one. But let's suppose that the front line or somebody else need healing in the same time. Is there a way for the Mercy to tell if it's better to heal or if she has to rest on the spot?
Yeah. So what this comes down to is your front line safe? If your front line is like half HP, heal them up, then res. Don't forget, res doesn't have to be instant. You can wait, especially if you're the attackers. You can come back and wait a bit. If you're the defenders, give them a bit of space, and you can get that res off safely without. So if the other team was doing what we were saying here, and they forced you to res the Zen, for example, your Rhine will just back off towards this point here. Give them just a little bit of space, not enough for them to take out this whole area, but enough that he won't get too damaged whilst that res is going off. It also provides a bit more protection for the res from a sniper, say.
Okay, so basically first heal the front line, then tell the front line to play safe, and then we can actually press.
Basically.
So these are the steps.
You can give up a little space just to get that res off, if you are the defenders, and if you're the attackers, you can retake that space once you're back at 6 people.
Ok, I'm gonna translate it just real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
Praticamente si parla di res, sostanzialmente il res conviene prima fullare la frontline, dire alla frontline di giocare safe in caso si concede spazio, in caso si va più indietro, se siamo noi in attacco, si concede spazio se siamo noi in difesa. A quel punto, quando la frontline è tutta full con lo scudo su e tranquillo con i cooldown, puoi fare il res. Essenzialmente è questo, ok? Capito, Fra?
Sì, ho capito anche la domanda.
Va bene. Okay, sorry, we didn't finish the retake on the triple tank. We just go from catwalk, or we just go from main garden?
Yeah. So if they're holding point, sorry, excuse me. If they're holding point, you want to take main. You really can't be looking to take this side route just due to the fact that they've got so much pressure to push you off that.
Yeah.
You're all in one tight space. If Ryan start, the good thing about Ryan is that, again, same as Brigitte, hitting like the terrain doesn't cancel his melee, so you can melee around here.
Yeah.
With the full swing. You can also knock people off accidentally, but the fact that there's such a tight space for them to come through that you're hitting multiple people as they come through on Rhine.
So we go through main?
So yeah, I would go through main. If you're running the Widow, your Widow can set up either a crossfire up here or try and stay behind over here. And what you want to be doing is you want to be looking for that pick through these small closed angles, because you're essentially forcing the Reinhardt to take one or the other door.
Okay.
Based on where your team's coming through, and your Widow, if you're running a Widow, would be looking to do that crossfire on the opposite door.
Oh, that's clever.
Okay, so sorry, I'm a bit confused. You keep saying the Widow, but in the beginning we said
we're
that
gonna run a Hanzo. Yeah.
The Hanzo.
No, I'm just saying because there's alterations obviously with the Widow that we were talking about. I'm trying to include them all. The Hanzo would just be pressuring the shield with everyone else.
Yeah, Hanzo is always pressuring the shield. The Widow is trying to set crossfire.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Also, just a question. We said that if they run a Pharah, we want to hold point because we negate most of the spam and most of the angles of the Pharah. But if we do have the point and they are still running the same comp as us with the Hanzo, we do hold the choke, or what do we hold?
So if they're running like a Hanzo Farah, is that what you mean?
No, it's they're just running Hanzo mirror comp.
Hanzo.
Mirror comp.
Then, yeah, you'd be holding the choke. I'd recommend holding this choke instead though.
Okay.
If they're running the Brigitte Hanzo. Because it's a lot easier for your healers to stay further back, away from the rest of the team.
Okay.
Which means that they're in a lot safer position. The only thing to watch out for on this comp, if you're holding this door here, excuse me, is that the Hanzo jumping over this wall.
Okay. That's an issue for our Hanzo or the front line, or
so
who should check
in
it?
This comp, your Hanzo can use this corner here, which allows him to see both the wall and the main fight area in one. Meanwhile, your healers should be just round about here, with Mercy obviously being a bit further forward, just here, and here obviously with your tanks.
Perfect. So maybe you can move to the next floor. To the next one.
Sorry.
Maybe we can move to the next map.
Yes. Yeah. That's not what I meant to click.
Okay. Anyway guys, I'm gonna take these videos that I'm recording, gonna put them all in Sats Bananas, give you the link so you can see all of what we already said with little beautiful icons from the top on the map.
Okay, so on this map, it's full triple or two or three tanks essentially. You can run a double tank comp with just the Rhine and the Zarya, and run a Junkrat Hanzo, which is quite a common comp that I've been seeing, and it works really well for in terms of the spam, because you got two spam heroes, and they're going to be pressured whichever way they come. If they're running a Rhine shield, they're going to get destroyed. If they're running a Orisa, they're going to get destroyed. If they run a Winston, you've got the good thing about running Junkrat is that he does have an essence of peel with his trap. So when you're playing Junkrat with the Zen can stay around on these angles down here, and you've just got a Junkrat trap sat next to him, because the Winston's going to want to try and dive onto him. So
we can job bait him.
Basically, yeah. So
to be honest, we didn't so many Winston in this map. Basically, they are all running Rain.
Yeah, in which case, if that's the case, then what you want to be doing is you want to be setting your trap up behind your own Reinhardt, because what that means is that when they try and charge your Reinhardt, they're not going to be able to. It basically traps their Reinhardt. You can just finish off that kill. If he charges, he's dead.
Okay.
That's for the first fight anyway, so you want to be taking into White Room round here and just pushing them as far back as they can. You want to be taking this space because you've got this spam comp to go down.
What if they do go straight to point?
If
they don't come in white and they go straight to point.
If they go straight to point, you come to point here, you'll notice obviously that they've gone to point, and you can have, you start pushing your Reinhardt down, standing on this point just here.
Okay.
Okay.
Just make sure they can't cap it. Your Hanzo meanwhile will start spamming down here. Your Junkrat moves around, and you can start bouncing it off these walls here, and try and pressure their backline.
Okay. So it's more or less how we
used to play.
Yeah.
This map, but okay, also when we have the point, I'm assuming we hold the choke. If we are all 6, as always.
So yeah, you'd hold this choke here, and your Junkrat would be holding this choke here from just here, essentially.
Not straight on the rover or the mega, not moving the fight. Yeah, that choke. Not this one. We cannot hear you again.
If you're a full 6, hold this door. Sorry, I was thinking about if you've got someone coming back. But yeah, hold full 6 here. One thing that I do like doing as an alteration to the comp is instead of the Junkrat, you can play the Hog in a triple tank format.
Okay.
Because no one expects the Hog hook from round here, and it becomes you get a similar amount of spam, not as deadly, but you can start picking people off a lot easier with Hog. But again, that's based on personal preference, and if you have a decent Hog to play on that, because these hooks are usually max range round here, and you also got to be careful with getting booped off depending on what heroes they've got.
Yeah. Okay. We can try kind of both and just see what works best for us.
Yep.
Probably the Junkrat comp will work better because TDK is a good Junkrat.
Yeah. Okay, so and then what you want, so obviously your Junkrat is going to be holding this main choke, and what you want is your Hanzo to be sat around here, because you want to be watching this flank.
Sorry. Yeah, there was a bit of echo.
Okay, so you were saying?
Yeah, so your Hanzo should be, so your Junkrat's going to be holding like the main door around here.
Okay.
And meanwhile, your Hanzo wants to be sat just on these stairs here. So when they start pushing in, he can help. But what you can also do is watch this flank round here at the same time. So it's just one of those things where it's just making sure you know what they're gonna do.
Okay.
So you can react in time, because if they start pushing with the triple tank comp through here, you can quickly move your whole team up to this door here and just carry on pressuring them. But it's having that knowledge as soon as you can.
If they're trying to set up and go into server, we just move and hold the door to server.
You move to these stairs here.
Yeah.
And just hold your Rhine with here, and your Hanzo and Junkrat can just spam still up here.
Okay.
And if they push through fully to server, don't pressure them. Instead, just go straight back to point.
Okay.
Because
so basically, we still kind of hold the stairs, but if they're trying to go to through server, we just go back.
We don't chase them.
No. So if they're still over there, you can pressure them, yeah. But if they manage to successfully get past you into server, all of them, you just let them and go back to point.
Okay.
If only some of them do, pressure the ones that are in here and just go on them.
Okay.
Because they're split off. But
yeah,
assuming
it's a bit suicidal to try to go through server if we are still spamming.
Yeah, the Omega.
Exactly.
So
so yeah, and then just move back to point if they manage to take server.
Retaking this one should be pretty straight up. Just manage the ult. Not much that we can actually say about that.
Yeah, we have to brute force.
So what if we are hold at the choke? How do we react? What if we cannot? No, the one that we were holding when we were 6. What if it's the opposite? They are holding us at the choke. What do we do?
You'd be looking for the grab there. It's as simple as that. You'd be, unless your Hanzo can get a good pick when the Rhine's shield's low or he's swinging. You want to be looking for a grab essentially. The main thing being if you do get a pick, you have to go aggressive on it, because that's the point where you will have firstly the man advantage, and secondly you'll also be able to push through and pass this Reinhardt, because you either won't have the damage behind him or the healing behind him, depending on what the pick is that you get.
Okay.
So you can just force him out. If it's the Reinhardt, then easy win. If you manage to pick off the Reinhardt.
Yeah. No shield versus shield, which should be too aggressive, but play still a bit safe with the shield off.
Yeah, and if that's happening to you and you get picked off, I'd actually recommend pulling back to this choke here. Straight away and not rezzing it, because you're so far forward, it's such a bad spot to resin.
Yeah. Okay.
And instead you pull back to this point. If they manage to push you back, you can push back to this point and just wait for your full 6-man, because you don't have to fight them. You've got the point essentially.
Okay.
So they're either going to have to use like a grab to get you all together and finish you off, or they're going to have to use some form of ult to try and overpower you whilst you're down, but you've got all this space to back off to.
Okay.
So just try and make use of it, essentially.
I don't have any questions. I don't know the address.
No, I'm totally fine.
Okay, for me too.
Yeah.
Ults on
That's fine.
this comp are pretty similar to other maps in terms of rotations. You've got your Rhine and Zarya can rotate those ults pretty easily. You use Zarya ult to build up a shatter by swinging through it, etc.
Yeah.
etc. It's a very standard comp to rotate ults through, so there's nothing new for this map.
How should we use the tire? If we go with Hanzo, Junkrat, the tire just to get a pick before the fight.
Yeah, you'll be looking to get 1 or 2 picks. If you can get 2 picks, you've won that fight and they can't win it. If you get 1 pick, they're forced to either res or you've got the mercy and you win the fight.
Okay.
So yeah, and yeah, it's basically this whole one is just stalling and getting picks, and then when your Zaru's got ult, you can save it for a defensive push. For example, if you're holding this door and your Zaru's got ult,
Yeah.
and they push aggressively, and you lose someone, but you've still got a combo available. So, you could use that to hold it there, but I would still recommend waiting for it because you may not have to use it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So
So basically, we draw back to point. Then
Yeah.
once we are at point, we decided either we go for the combo or we
Or
have
we don't.
a position that we can still get a pick and then maybe win the fight without the combo.
Yeah, exactly. So the combo is kind of like a last-ditch effort, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't really want to be using it unless you have to.
Better to use that to retake and not just
Exactly.
lock down the choke.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all about knowing whether you've lost the fight or not. But if you can fall back to here, you can stall quite a while.
Yeah, okay. That's
Any questions?
no, not really.
I don't
moment.
think so.
Only one second, please. Donny, mi puoi spiegare un attimo l'ultima cosa che ha detto? Praticamente ha senso usare una combo per fermarli?
Allora,
Ho capito.
sostanzialmente quello che sta dicendo su Grave Drago
Ah,
è che non conviene utilizzarlo per vincere il fight sul punto, perché o li teniamo fuori di spam e possiamo utilizzare le altre ultimate tipo la Tire o lo Shatter per vincere il fight, oppure Grave Drago servono per il retake, sostanzialmente. Perché è un choke molto duro da passare, soprattutto se c'è tanto spam. A quel punto, se ci hanno fatto un pick, tanto vale tornare indietro, cercare di stallare più a lungo, prendere più percentuale possibile.
Esatto.
Una volta che abbiamo preso più percentuale possibile, vabbè, si risetta e allora si usa la combo per rientrare, vincere il fight e riprendere posizione.
La cosa buona che ha detto è che se ci fanno un pick non è automaticamente perso il fight se abbiamo il punto noi. Cioè non chiamiamo il fight perso se siamo in 5, ma possiamo comunque cercare di stringere i denti sul punto.
Si va diretti sul punto, se fanno un pick
E
si
si
fighta sul
cerca
punto,
di grindare sul punto, esatto.
cercando di prendere il più tempo possibile per far tornare il pick che hanno fatto, che sono circa 10 secondi, cercando di fare un pick noi a nostra volta. È chiaro che loro andranno più aggressivi.
Se abbiamo un'ultimate utilizzabile sul punto possiamo usarla, a patto che non sia l'ultimate da combo.
So I'm sorry, we are trying to explain. If they get a pick while we are holding the choke, we go back to point. We can just use Shutter or Tire to get a pick, but
Yeah, but what you want to be doing is you want to be right back here first. Well, you know I said about holding here and then moving back. If they're pushing aggressively and you can get a shatter at this point, do it. But if you can't get a good or guaranteed shatter, just move back to point. If you've got a tire, you can use it to get a pick. You're protected around one of these corners here.
So basically, what I was trying to explain to them is we should keep the combo Grab Dragon to retake, but the rest of the ultimate, any advice on the usage? We can just use them to win the fight if we are one off. We can use them to hold them at the choke. What? What should we do?
I'd always hold them. I'd always use them either to. Well, sorry. So the pick ones you want to be using when you get back here because you're going to be safe, such as the tire. If you can get the shatter again here, but what you want to be looking for is you do want to just make sure you're building up that Zarya Hanzo combo for the retake if they do win the fight. I wouldn't try and invest that on a fight where you're already down a man.
Okay.
If that helps, I think that's.
Okay, so basically either we are really sure to have a huge shatter, or they are not pushing too hard and maybe we can still win the fight without investing too much, but just the tire. Just maybe the tire if we know that the 6-man is coming back and already spawn it maybe or something like that.
You basically you're looking to either stall it so you can get back as a 6-man, or just delay the point. If they're pushing aggressively and you're not going to be able to get back together as a 6-man.
Ok. Praticamente rimangio quello che ho detto sulle ultimate. A meno che non ci sia modo di tirar fuori proprio un grosso shatter che sappiamo che c'è un'occasione assurda.
Garantita, sì.
È proprio garantita. Non ha senso utilizzare ultimate. Anche la tire non ha un grosso senso, conviene utilizzarle sempre per il retake piuttosto. Ha senso utilizzarla se riusciamo a fare delay a lungo nel momento in cui il sesso sta tornando e siamo in una posizione in cui stiamo stallando ma siamo più safe.
È tipo un dry push al contrario, è un dry hold.
Perfetto.
Il concetto è quello. Altre domande? Ah sì, Fra ha detto di non restare se ci fanno il pick off al choke, di tornare direttamente sul punto, che tanto è in una posizione di merda e non conviene restarlo.
Intendere così perché questo ragionamento non è.
Cosa? Pozza?
Non sto parlando con noi.
Forse sì, appunto.
No, scusate. Non mi stavo rivolgendo a voi.
Ok.
Andiamo.
Ci sono domande? C'è altro da aggiungere?
A posto per.
No. Sì, a posto anche così.
Abbiamo una mezz'oretta più o meno, volete vedere qualcosa in particolare? Domande in generale?
Personalmente sono a posto.
Ok. Volete vedere un'altra mappa, un pezzetto?
No, facciamo la prossima volta già.
Ok, sì, mi sembra comunque
no,
tante
magari
informazioni.
qualche consiglio sui pick individuali, che ne so, io con la Merzi, Pozza, qualche dritta per aiutarla a parlare. Se ha qualche
potrebbe essere un'idea.
Ok, volete parlare un attimino di comp in generale basate sui pick che sappiamo giocare?
Velocità, fallo!
Magari? Non so, cioè sono più che altro perché vabbè, proviamo a chiedergli qualche consiglio magari per forzare Pozza a parlare, ma in questo momento è mutato. Qualche cosa di importante sulla Mercy. Cosa preferite? Ditemi voi.
Sì, scusate, io ci sono, vi sento, però ho una chiamata, vi sto sentendo comunque.
Ok.
Facciamo multitasking, però non so parlare mentre.
Ok, can we talk a bit about the general composition of this meta and our individual preferences?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
So basically I don't know how to introduce the topic. Some of us don't have an really extent hero pool, so we are somewhat limited in the picks. For example, Shiva mainly plays, actually only plays Diva and Hanzo. But non stai più registrando, vero Fra? Hai interrotto?
No, sto registrando.
And Helios usually played only Tracer, now he's moving on to other DPS. He used to play also Zarya, but was not a really good Zarya.
Should we go through each role and see what heroes we've got available to us?
Yeah, why not?
For me, it's fine.
So what comfort picks have you got on main tank? Is it just Winston and Reinhardt, no Orisa at the moment?
Yep.
Not really comfort on Orisa. We are trying to play it, but he's muted because he's in a phone call right now. So
yeah, no worries. So he's practicing Orisa, but not comfortable on it right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in off tank, Diva.
Zarya Diva. No problems. Hog, I haven't practiced it a lot, but still
but
can
it's
do.
something that you can do.
Yeah.
If you need to. Yeah. Okay.
I still can pull it out. A decent Hog. But
hit scan or main DPS.
talking about Helios, I've seen him pull out good Hanzo, good Tracer, decent McCree. I don't know what other picks he can play. Torbjorn, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's okay.
We can. I've got a comp for Torbjorn. Don't worry.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Numbani Torbjorn.
Here we go.
I think actually you've probably seen it already. It's been a thing for a while, but Jake pulled it out on
Yeah.
Second
Houston
point.
Outlaws. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also a first point one as well. So just
Yeah, also the
defense.
Dynasty used to pull it out on the defense first point, if I remember well. Second or third
Yeah,
stage.
Rijay
Not the
Hulk.
last. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck the meta.
Anyway, other DPS. Actually, I don't know what else he can play. Penso giocare Helios, McCree, Trace, Ranzo. I'm talking about at master level, more or less.
Yeah.
Because he can pull out a Diamond Pharah or Diamond Widow, probably.
I'll put those down as secondary things then on here.
And then we have TDK on Soldier, and Widow and Junkrat
As DPS.
as DPS, and now
And
he's playing
Brigitte.
Brigitte unlikely. And
Okay.
this for the DPS, and then we have the support with
Fele.
playing
Lucio.
Lucio,
Lucio.
Mercy, Moira e Anna.
and for me it's basically the same. I can play any support beside Lucio. Yeah, I can play Zen, Anna. Actually,
Probably not Lucian Mercy, you.
No, yeah, not Mercy. Mercy, I never touch her. So yeah,
So Zen Moirana.
Zen Moira.
Zen Moirana.
Yep.
Okay. So
And
that's really good.
it.
That means that what I can do is I can start putting comps together for you to try and scrims with those heroes.
Actually, we're missing Shiva, but as already said, it's Diva and Hanzo. While we were playing the triple tank with Brigitte and Hanzo, and she was playing Hanzo. If we had to switch dive, I usually took the Tracer role since Helios was not playing, and she went back to the Diva. That helps.
Yeah. And
Yeah, okay.
if I can say, I can play a little bit of Genji, but Zen remains a must pick anyway, so I cannot play
Yeah,
two
I
heroes.
was gonna
at the
say
same-
I don't think we'll be able to run Genji, unfortunately, man.
Yeah.
If we also want to try a different combination, I used Flamin' Healer for the team, so you can add Zen Moira and decent Ana, but still Ana is not really worth it.
I think for now we'd probably try and keep everyone on their own roles. I don't
Yeah.
really want to be switching the roles because what it also means is you're resetting your ults.
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
switch in between. Yeah, exactly. So.
But if you believe that in some maps it's I don't know, it's either just dive. I don't know, Gibraltar is only dive, and we will always play dive. But we need a projectile or a Genji. I can still fill the Zen role, and Nico can go Genji. Just
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Yeah, if we
Okay.
if we have
I'm
to, we
not-
can. We are pretty flexible from that point of view.
I'm not the best. Probably my only 2 heroes that are at master level at the moment are Zarya and Zen. But on the rest I can flex on hit scan and on off tank.
Yeah, okay.
Just so you know.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'm going to put this all into a spreadsheet, and I'll put it into the Discord for you guys to update and keep track of.
Cool.
Okay.
And what it'll also mean is in that Discord I can also, in that spreadsheet there'll also be example compositions with some alterations and stuff like that.
Okay. So if you believe that there is something different that we can try on these maps, just write it to us and try it out.
Yep, I will do.
We actually don't have I don't know, Doomfist or really huge projector role of meta picks are kinda no.
Yeah.
Like nobody plays Mei. Stuff like that.
I've got a Doomfist only account.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's called Mr. Fister.
Actually
it's got a golden Doomfist gun.
one of the
That's
DPS
gross, man. That's really gross.
one of the DPS from augmented authorities that are not augmented authorities anymore, Damnet, is top 10 Doomfist.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. Really insane. I've seen him play.
I've worked with augmented authority. I've worked with Froome quite a bit, and we used to scrim them quite a lot as well. They're a really good team. They were a really good team. I think
At the moment they are 4-1 on trials, so
yeah,
they probably will make it actually to contenders.
Yeah, they're looking really good at the moment.
Actually, their coach, Ask for More, spoke really good about you. Because I was talking to him.
Is that Froome?
No. Ask for More. He was not on Augmented Authorities, was on the Norwegian team, I don't remember which one. While you were still coaching the Honor.
Yeah, no, I remember him. He tried out for us and did a few games with us as well. It's there's quite a few people I know actually.
Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of pros to find someone, because it's not easy to find a coach that is willing to coach high diamond, low master team.
Yeah. I mean, the main reason that I have the time at the moment is that Honor's not interested in doing Overwatch at the moment. Just there's no point going to Open Division either. So that's why I have the time at the moment, and I should do for the foreseeable future as well.
Good for us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
So what I'll do is I'll get that document done over the next few days. I'll have it to you probably before the weekend, depending on when I get round to it. But you say you scrim on what
Monday,
you scrim days again?
Monday, Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'll definitely get it to you before then.
Fourth day of the week.
Is
Is it Tuesday?
fuck it. Each time.
Or
I
Thursday?
guess
Thursday.
The one before Friday. Holy fuck.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday,
Fuck me,
sorry.
yeah.
Fuck it.
Yes.
Alright, I won't have it to you by tomorrow, but I'll have it to you before the next one.
Yeah, tomorrow, no, we don't expect it, but once you know, if you let us know.
Yeah, I will.
Holy shit. Still a communication issue. Oh yeah, general mercy tips maybe to help Fra learn the role better. Can you
What
give it
was that,
some
sorry? Could you just repeat? Sorry.
general mercy tips for Fele?
like do's and don'ts.
Oh, with Mercy, okay.
Yeah.
So Mercy's such a weird. Wait, I got the pink skin.
Whoa.
I never played Mercy, by the way. So that surprised me. The main thing with Mercy is just constantly moving. That's the only thing that I can really point out is you got to be constantly moving because you're such a priority target, moving between the front and back lines. When your Zen gets dived on, you want to be pocketing him. He doesn't want to be focusing on healing. If it's a dive coming in on the Zen, you just want to be healing him, making sure that he can survive through that whilst either the rest of the team or himself finishes off, say, the Winston, the Diva, etc., etc. They're the main 2 points that I would really say for Mercy. If you can get a height advantage, make sure to make use of that. Unless they're playing a Widow, in which case always play corners.
Okay.
So because Mercy's beam is stays on for, I think it's 2 seconds round a corner. You can just constantly peek and just keep it on the person, switch the person.
Ok, let me translate it really fast. Sostanzialmente muoviti sempre, non stare mai fermo con Mercy. Se puoi sfruttare un high ground, sfruttalo, tranne nel caso in cui hanno Widow. Se hanno Widow, gioca intorno agli angoli, perché tanto il raggio continua a curare per 2 secondi dopo che ha interrotto l'angolo. Quindi continua a fare avanti e indietro dall'angolino, cioè da dietro al muro. Continua a fare i pick rapidi per curare.
Pocchetta lo Zen.
Sì, cura lo Zen se viene devato. Devi assolutamente dargli come main priority curare lo Zen, in modo che possa sopravvivere e lo Zen o gli altri riescano ad uccidere chi sta devando. Sostanzialmente è questo.
Va bene.
Oh.
Game lasted too long.
Shut him down. Altro per voi?
Nope.
Okay, so we actually don't have any question. We can call it for tonight.
Okay.
Was a lot of information actually to process.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's been a pretty good session. I'll get that schedule over. The hero thing over to you in the next few days, by Saturday at the latest. And in the meantime, if you do have any questions, you can at me or DM me in Discord. Anyone. So.
Perfect.
I guess I'll leave you guys there. If you've got any questions, just let me know.
User entered your channel.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks guys.
Yeah.
Nice, thank you.
Have a good week.
Ciao, Pozzo.
I'll speak to you soon.
Gli dici che hai già fatto il pagamento?
Francesco is saying that he already processed the payment on PayPal.